Hey, what's up, family? It's Pam Ross. Welcome to the Culturalist podcast, Conversations with Pam Ross. And normally I am having conversations with brilliant people who are doing amazing things. But this time you're in for a very special treat. I know I just had an amazing treat because I spoke with several people and they are all my team. I call them my dream team. These are the people that dream with me, plan with me, pray with me. We pray for each other. And we had a whole conversation of what it means to dream with your team, what it is to bring people, your team members, into the creative process when you're just dreaming about it. What are the advantages? What are the challenges? How do we do it? We're going to tell all the secrets. And I'll say this, we also did a whole nother segment for our Patreon supporters. If you are a Patreon supporter, please know that we love you. We appreciate you. And we got some good stuff for you this time. So when you're done watching this, head over to Patreon and listen to what we recorded especially for you. And if you are not a Patreon supporter, why not? Why are you missing all these bonuses? You can get these bonuses. Just go to patreon.com. Look for me, Pam Ross. The link is in the bio. You'll find me. I'll be there. And you can get all of these bonuses just for you. But without further ado, please join me and my amazing team. Hi, I'm Pam Ross, the Culturalist. I love good conversations with interesting people. In this podcast, we use the art of conversation to explore what's happening in culture. Thanks for joining us. Well, hello, team.
Hey.
Hey. First of all, thank y'all so much for doing this podcast with me. This was all Jasmine's idea. And we is that the bus? Yeah. This was all Jasmine's idea, but Jasmine's actually a really great idea because I know you listen to content all the time. Between you and Andrea, you're listening to content or reading content to pull out gems for people. So I'm really happy that, like, just in the midst of a group coaching debrief, you brought it up and said, hey, we should have these meetings of ours need to be a podcast. And so I love this topic of dreaming with your team. So I'm going to go through and do I know people are experts at introducing themselves, but I like to introduce people because there's ministry in it for me. There's ministry in it. So we're going to start with you, Jasmine, since you started the whole thing. This is our beautiful Jasmine Bell, and also known as JB. And most people, if you follow me anywhere, you've seen Jasmine's work. If you've been anywhere where I've taught, if you've picked up a book, downloaded an ebook, you've seen Jasmine work. She is director of media. She's out of Texas, and she is a preacher, fiery preacher. And then the amazing Anika Crawford Young. Anika, I love you so much. Thank you for saying, hey, I want to help you. And so Anika is director of education. She is all things equipping leaders. So that whole vision of giving the world better leaders, she is kind of front lines in that area and really just kind of helps spiritually, prophetically, just kind of helps us with eyes and ears. I really awesomely appreciate you. I'm going Brady Bunch style. Right down here is the amazing, resilient, beautiful, brilliant, hardworking, another preacher, like all three of y'all preachers, Andrea St. Louis. Andrea, yay! I often introduce you, Andrea, by saying that you are a copywriter and our resident mastermind. Andrea can help us figure out a way to do it. And you've seen a lot. You've had a lot of exposure. And so I thank you so much for making the time to be here. I know you've got a lot going on, kids, client, church, and you. And we honor the fact that you make time for yourself. So thank you so much. And then Neon. What's happening? Okay, first of all, this scarf is taking me back to, yes. I like it.
Yeah, I wanted
Yes,
it.
yes, I
Yeah.
like it. I like it. You look beautiful
Thank
tonight.
you. As
Thank
do
you so much.
everyone else. Hey, you guys, what's
I
up?
know. Don't they look gorgeous? So Dion is my admin assistant. She's both, and she does a lot of travel with me. She's the person who makes sure I'm at the right place at the right time, handles all the communication. So if we've ever told you no, it was Dion so graciously telling you no. And if we've ever told you yes, it was Dion so joyfully telling you yes. So I appreciate you, Dee. And then Dee and I just have such history. Maybe we'll get into that a little bit. But our hostess with the mostest is our producer, Dr. Latoya Wider. It's nobody like Latoya. She is the ultimate rich auntie. And I love you so much, Latoya. Latoya came to me. I don't know if the rest of y'all know her story. She came to me as a volunteer administrator while I was working for a church planning network and just didn't leave. And I was like, well, this thing is done. And she's like, but we're not done. And so here, she said, don't you need someone to do, like, what do you need? And at that time, I was limping along with the podcast. And so Latoya has taken it. She lays the groundwork, works with my daughter Nia to make sure that y'all have a real product and not just an idea in my head. So, Latoya, we are in your hands, ma'am.
Thank you so much. And thank you all for being here. Dr. Pam is the best leader
Our
ever. And I'm
sweetheart.
sure the
Thank you.
team agrees with me. We are so grateful for you. So today we're going to be talking about how to dream with your team. Like this team is the ultimate dream team, like one of the best
Absolutely.
teams that I've ever been on. And so we want to share just how we collaborate, how Dr. Pam leads us. We just want to share like how awesome our team is, and we would just want to share that with you guys so that you can be able to build teams yourself and also be able to operate within teams in a better way. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to start off with just a few discussion questions. Of course, with our team, we get along so well, so I'm sure the conversation may veer off, but that's okay. That's the
It's
purpose
okay.
of this podcast. We're having a
Yes.
great conversation. So I just want to start off, and I'll throw it out there. Whoever wants to start, what did it feel like the first time you were invited into the dream space of this vision?
Hmm.
Feel like for you?
Hmm.
I had, oh, go ahead, Jess. Sorry.
You good, sis?
So for me, I have a quote written in one of Dr. Pam's books that said that if I could sit at the feet of anyone, like Paul sat at the feet of Gamaliel, it would be Dr. Pam Ross. And that was in, I think, 2017. I wrote that in that book.
Wow.
So for me, it was a more than a full circle moment. It was, I knew this was God's about to change my life moment.
Mm.
Wow.
It is so interesting, isn't it, when you kind of feel like I'm supposed to be connected to this person. And it's funny that you did it in a book because my coach, my former coach, Anna McCoy, wrote a book called Woman Act Now. And I just happened to pick the book up and ended, that's how I ended up connecting to Coach Anna. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you're a writer out there and you write your book, even if it's just for one person, write the book because you just never know. Yeah.
I know,
So
yeah. So
yeah.
I have it written in the margins of one of the books.
Really, like I'm gonna sit at this lady's feet. And then here we are. We get to chat it up on a regular, and I love it. Cool beans, yeah. Bringing
Amazing.
your team into most visionaries will bring their team into a task space, into a delegation space. And what I'm finding more and more when I talk to visionaries is it's not their normal to bring people into a dream space to say, hey, let's dream about this. Let's collaborate from the beginning and not just, okay, I have it all worked out and I'm going to deal everybody their cards, you know? So yeah, love the question. Anybody else?
I was
Oh,
gonna say I remember it had to be like 2018. You came to a leadership that the church I was at in San Antonio was having. And I
Wow.
still have the recording because I was recording you teach. And my friend on the worship team was sitting next to me and she goes, Jasmine, this is you.
Wow.
And I
Really?
remember 2 years later, we're in the middle of the pandemic, and you posted on Facebook that you were looking for interns for the Get
Yeah.
Ready to Fly book launch. And I don't work there anymore. I did not do any work for Girl Scouts that day because
Yeah.
I was putting all my stuff together so I could email and become an intern. And then when the internship was over, I was like, so what's next?
What are you doing next?
Much
Like
like
what's your
Latoya,
next dream? Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm not going there. You're not getting rid of me.
Yes.
I'm here now.
And has not left.
And have not, and ain't,
I love it. I love
and
it.
ain't.
No, love it.
Dion, you were going to say something.
I was going to say, Anika, did you want to go first? Because mine is, no, you're good? Okay. So as Dr. Pam, I call her Auntie Pam, I think a lot of people do, alluded to, we have a long history. So for me, mine was just like, hey, Dee, do you want to help do this? Sure, why not? So my answer was always, sure, why not? I can do that. So that's how I ended, because I knew she was fun. I knew she loved the Lord. I knew that what she was going to do was helping people. So
Oh,
I'm like, well, why wouldn't I? Of course,
yeah.
let's do this. So
Well, you
that's,
know what, Dee, you're very adventurous.
yeah.
And so many times, like when you get invited into a space with leaders, people immediately think of every kind of reason why they won't do it. And I think you're the type of person, I don't know if it's just the way your brain is wired, but you're the type of person that thinks of every reason why we should do it. Why not?
Well, let's go. Let's see.
Yeah, let's go. You're trying to help some people. It'll
Nothing
be
beats a
fun.
failure but a
It's you.
try.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Cool beans.
So I was working with you before, and then you needed help on the dream team. So I was already
I
working with
did.
you. And so you said, yeah, you're going to do this. I said, oh, all right, let's go. Because remember that? Mine wasn't oh, wow. Mine was hey, you're going to do this. Is that okay? The question came afterwards.
Yeah, you're gonna do this. Is that
Sure.
okay?
Why not? I love it. Let's do it. Let's go.
But you know what's hilarious, y'all? Let me tell you. It was this year. I think it was this year, wasn't it, Dee? As I was moving, you know how you kind of go through old journals or old notes or something. My friend Karen had said this to me years and years ago. She said, I was taking notes from a conversation she had, and she said, Linda's youngest child, Dion, she's gonna be, I see her being very instrumental in your next season. And yep. And so I remember I called Karen recently and was like, Karen, guess what? Yeah. Dion is like right arm. Yeah. Amazing.
Who knew?
Yeah, who
We
knew?
might have
Sometimes
gotten it, but
just say yes, because you're probably in the will of
let's
God
say
if it's all good. It's all good.
So for me, Dr. Pam and I worked together in a church planting um, ministry. And once that dissolved, she and I went to Pastors and Leaders. That's when we were at the conference. And she was getting vision for her next. And she looked at me and we were talking into what was coming up. And I said, I want to help you.
Yeah.
And literally, she started crying because she was like, "You want to help, me?" And I was like, "Absolutely, whatever you need, I'm there." Dr. Pam, working alongside of her in that church planting organization, just watching her, how she moved and how she was instrumental in those spaces, it inspired me, especially being a person that wants to see excellence in leadership, to see somebody that can give strategy, give insight to leadership. That was inspirational to me because I've been in church all my life. And so, seeing her navigate through those spaces, as females especially, it was inspiring. And so once she launched her own thing, she wanted to kind of launch out into the coaching space. And I was like, I got you, let's do it. And so, yeah, she onboarded me and we're here. So I'm excited to be here and to be a part of the team.
The beauty of Monica is she makes everything sound easy. Like God is like, I think you and Dion have that in common. Like, you'll be fine. All you got to do is, all you got to do is yeah, makes everything sound really like it's no sweat. Yeah, it's no sweat at all.
Sure, yeah.
Latoya,
And
did you answer? I don't know if you
I
answered.
haven't, but I echo what everyone has said. Like, even getting the opportunity, I remember before I moved to Chicago, I saw you preaching online, and I
Oh, wow.
remember just like, hey, it's something about her. And to have the opportunity to be an admin for you in a volunteer capacity, the answer was definitely yes. And
Mhm.
then when it came time for that to be dissolved, I was like, no. Like Jasmine said, you can't get rid of me. Like, we're still connected. I still need you. So I'm very grateful that I've had the opportunity to be on this team. And in working on the podcast too, you were like, hey, this is what I have. And you gave me free reign to say, hey, you can learn this, give me your ideas. And I really appreciated that. And so through that, this next question, what is the difference between working with a visionary and co-dreaming with a visionary? Because I feel like you are a visionary who co-dreams with your team.
Mm.
So how does that feel in working for a visionary versus co-dreaming with one?
I
Mm.
want to start that one since I was last.
Okay.
The difference between working with and then being allowed. Number one, there has to be allowed. There has to be allowed space for that. You have to be open, right? Dr. Pam has always come to the table. What do you guys think? What do you guys see? It's not this is what I'm doing. Jump on board, get with it. It's always, hey, this is a thought I have. What is your contribution to it? And so I think the difference is the transparency of the leader to say, hey, I'm vulnerable because I'm letting you know that I may not have all the pieces, right? But I believe that God gave me the people and the team with the insight to give me what we need to fulfill what God has given me. And so in those other spaces, it's really strict. It's really just kind of delegation, right? But in the dreaming space, you're open and it's like, what do you see? What do you see? Bring your expertise, bring your strategy, bring your experience to the table, and let's collaborate, right? Versus just be a part of what I'm already doing. So that's the difference, I think, is with the dreaming space. And I think the dreaming space is safe. There's a safety
Mm.
in this dreaming space where you don't have to feel like your ideas are going to be crushed, devalued, right? Anything that we put on the table, it's actually considered, right? If it's not utilized, we use it for something else. But it's not like,
Mhm.
oh, that was no good. Oh, disregard that as if you and your idea don't matter. It's always a level of nurturing. It's always a level of let's pull on that. Let's go a little deeper into that. And so it's always stretching us to the next, which is what we love about this team, is that Dr. Pam pulls out of us and stretches us as we dream.
Everybody's nodding. Everybody's like, oh, the pull.
So
Lord, they done released the
her dream is
prophet.
pulling out of us things that we didn't know was there because she gives us that space to become.
Anika, I was just like literally about to, like, when you were done, gonna say that, like, that pulling out a piece. I
Yeah.
also believe that when you invite your team into a dream space, you can actually get more out of your team than if you just gave them the job description and said, do your job.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I wouldn't know that I was, yes, I have a lot of experience, but I think this team being in this space, so I started out as a book club leader for Get Ready to Fly.
Yeah.
And then I've stayed, like everybody else, I'm not going anywhere. But I think that when you are willing to do that pulling, I think that that's sometimes for some visionaries, they feel like that's too heavy of a lift. They're working on getting their gift out. They don't have the capacity to get other people's gift out. But a real visionary doesn't just see their idea and the team working on their idea, but they see the ideas in their team.
Can we just say la? My goodness.
Listen, I was also going to say the level of trust that the visionary has to have in their team, because I think most gifted people have experienced having a visionary say, "Oh, yeah, I want you to do this job," and then having them right there looking over your shoulder the whole time you're trying to do it and micromanaging everything that you're doing. Like they don't trust you to do the job that they brought you in to do. And so be that trust of like, "Hey, listen, we're doing this, what do you think?" Okay. And then you can just go execute and then bring it back for feedback. The whole team will weigh in and we'll see how it fits with the other pieces, instead of like, "Well, you need to, where you at on this? What you doing? I need to see. Hop on some." Ain't nobody got time for all of that. Do you trust me to do the job or not? Because if listen, listen, ain't nobody got time for all of that. Do you want me here? Is it like, I understand this is your baby, but at some point you need to go to bed. You need to trust somebody else to watch it for 2 seconds so you can go get some sleep so you can leave me alone.
That's got to be huge for like creative people that are, you're trying to bring a visual thing to somebody's dream or somebody's idea and they can't do it. I've seen leaders wrestle with graphic designers and editors. If they had the skill, they would try it themselves. And I have seen your graphics, y'all, when I know you tried it yourself. Oh, I see that.
The eagle's flying through the floor.
Come on, looking like a Peanuts cartoon out there. Don't do it.
The dog coming down from the side with the
yes,
side.
yes.
No, this program
My
is like
favorite part is when they
this.
did it on Canva and they didn't pay for it, so it still has the watermarks.
Yes. Or the wings on the background, of like an ordination, and we think somebody died. These types of things need to stop. They need to really stop.
See, they do that. I'm always like, my heart's like, oh my God, who died?
I know. I can't. I don't. Ooh, it's awful.
Or they
it's
put
awful.
the halo. It's like,
this is the worst.
What are we conveying? Like, what are you communicating through
What
your
are you
graphic? Because
communicating?
obviously,
Terrible.
you want us to think you're dead.
Yes.
Seriously. I'm always like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to call people and say, did you know?
And they're like, oh no, they just released a new book. Oh, or they're being ordained. Oh, we're thinking they're gone. So yeah, I know that feeling of, I've worked with other graphic designers and I've seen visionaries that they don't trust them to just say, hey, even if you have a couple of colors in mind, I didn't give you colors, you gave me colors. You're like, based on your personality.
Because listen, I won't go all the way off into that, but there's strategy behind when you actually have an expert that knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
People look and be like, "Oh, orange, that's such a great color." They don't know orange psychologically conveys energy and vibrancy, which is reflective of your personality.
Yeah.
But if you just want to control everything, well, I think we should do it in this color, not knowing that conveys the complete opposite of what you want.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's that trust of like knowing like, hey, I hired an expert or I brought an expert onto my team. Let them have a little freedom. Just a little bit.
What they do.
Just a little bit.
See what they come up with. I get it. Good stuff.
Nope, go ahead, Toya.
No, you go ahead, Dion.
I was just going to say that I would like to add that I have nothing to add because they said everything. So everything y'all said, yes, and yes.
And I agree as well. However, too, I also was thinking about value. Like it makes me feel valued as a team member, but not in a materialistic forms. When you think about jobs, oh, they value me because of my pay or my benefits. It's beyond that, because as a person who I'm a little more quieter than everybody else, and I normally sit back and observe, but Dr. Pam is very intentional about asking for my opinion. And like Anika said, she pulls and draws out of us what she sees in us. And I need that in my life. So I do want to say thank you for that. But it also makes me feel valued in a way that's different. Again, it's not materialistic, but it feels like you value me as a member of this team whether I speak out or not, you recognize, hey, you have something to say.
Mhm.
And that makes a difference.
Yeah.
I
I
have a
love
question to piggyback off of this question then. Is that okay? So talking about this, and you're saying, yeah, I see this. I'm talking to Dr. Pam.
Yeah.
Is it because you saw the opposite that makes you the way you are, or is it something that's ingrained that that's just who you are? So,
Oh,
or
good
both.
question. I think it's both.
Mm.
I think that I've seen people, leaders recruit the best person they can get and then put such a lid on them to, like you use people like a tool rather than bring them to the table like a human being. And so I've seen, I don't know if I've seen the frustration of the person, or maybe they just didn't articulate it to me. But I've been able to look around the room and say, this person has stuff, this person got more, that person got more, but it's never been drawn on. In fact, I've seen people even criticized for, yes, for, stay in your lane, and when I want your opinion, I'll give it to you, kind of thing. And so I think I've seen that. Also, I'm a peopler. And so when I look at a person, I see the treasure. I see the treasure in earthen vessels. And my natural daughters will tell you, you travel with mom, she gonna hit you in the belly, right? So that means you think you're just going to be a travel assistant and make sure I'm good and pray for me. And then I'll be like, don't you have this, you can do this. And so when it's in the person, sometimes I'm shocked that people don't know it's there. Like, you didn't know you could do this? Oh, it's all over you. Like, it's very obvious that you are excellent at this. And so I love to see people's expression. It's like, sometimes it's like a kid riding a bike for the first time, and they think you're holding on, and then you let them go and they look up at you with these amazing eyes like, oh, I'm doing it. Yeah. and also I think, like, no one has all the genius. And when I led volunteer teams in my first job working in ministry, I would ask my team, I wonder if we could do this. Anybody have an idea? And they literally would sit and look at me and say, well, just tell us what you want done. And I would say, and I would ask them, don't you have the Holy Ghost? Aren't you saved? Aren't you? It's the same Holy Ghost in all of us. And my role is an indication of my obligation to serve and equip you, but it doesn't mean I have all the genius at all. So that's how you kind of mine out the ideas from people. So yeah, you hit the nail on the head twice. I've seen it done the wrong way, and I think also it's just a part of my personality to want to see people become. And that, who said that? Somebody said that word. It might have been Andrea. Oh, Anika. That's my favorite thing to hear, that someone has become because they were hanging out with me.
And Dr. Kim, I just needed to really quickly add, like, I think you're talking about becoming, and I think sometimes we think about that in terms of the trajectory of whatever we're doing on the team. We're going to grow in that particular area. But I will say that God has not only used you, but has used this team to speak things into my life that prepared me for a season I never saw coming.
Yes.
I think God is very intentional sometimes. And I think, especially as leaders, as visionaries, as dreamers, like, if you're going to invite a team to journey with you, be prepared to help them prepare for their lives, even if you don't know what they're preparing for.
Absolutely.
There are some things that I wouldn't be able to believe about myself now with some of the things I've endured in this last year if I didn't hear it before it all happened.
Yeah. Wow. I love that. Be prepared to journey with them. Don't just think, because it's a whole person. Every person is a whole story. And recently I was telling somebody, I said, you have one heart. So you're not one way here and one way there. You know what I mean? You don't have you're like, I'm here, and when I'm in a different space, I'm a different person. One of those two is not real. They can't both be you, because you have one heart. So you can't be generous over here and selfish over here. That you must be being generous over here because it benefits you. So And so this idea of when you gather people, you're gathering who they are. And I do ask the Lord, now Lord, I say it real Southern. I said, now Lord, who is this? Because before, my favorite, before he formed you, he knew you. And so there's stuff about us that God knows and has yet to even reveal. So I love to ask him, now, Lord, who is this? What are they about? Where are they going? And what's my part? What's my responsibility in that? But yeah, you're right. Growing and becoming so far beyond you getting good at what you do. You're going to do that. But becoming more of who you are. Yeah. Yeah. And being strengthened for the journey in life. Because your greatest player, your star player, could sprain an ankle, could have a shoulder out for a while, could wear a sling for a little bit, but it doesn't mean they're not on the team. You just walk with them, you journey with them. When they're back to, cleared to play, home run again.
You stick that bat in their hand and say, hit the ball.
That's right.
You can do it.
You can do it. Come on, let's go. Yeah,
Right.
let's go. Let's do it. So yeah, thank you for saying that, Andrea. I think that sometimes when people are on a team, they know that because they love the vision and they love the visionary, often their heart is to make an impact and a contribution. I've heard people say, I want to carry my weight. I want to do, and then when they're in a position where they need us to do for them, they almost feel a little bit guilty. They'll feel like, well, I haven't done much. Oh, you're in much. What do you mean you haven't done much? You're in much. Yeah, you're in you're in a thing. And so when you dream with your team and you expand, you teach them how to pull on God for genius, pull on God's creativity. Hey, what do you think the Lord is saying? And those become normal for us, so much so that when you in your own personal life have to face something, oh, I learned this, I learned how to say now, okay, Lord, yeah, you got the idea, you got the genius, what do I do? So yeah, good question.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yes, I completely agree. And that difference is shown here in the productivity of this team and the growth of your business and ministry. It's evident. So in that, and then kind of piggybacking off of what Andrea was saying too, like how we all have this shared team vision that you have given for us, and we're all working toward one vision. But how is that balanced with the individual vision? Because like you said, you're pulling things out of us that are even outside of the scope of our role within the team. So how does that translate over to the individual vision for your life, and have you seen benefits and growth in that area?
Oh, I want to hear these answers.
Well, I'll go first. Well, let's see. When I joined the team, I made social media content as a hobby. And now I'm a business owner.
Wow.
Like a whole business. When I joined the team, I had concepts of a book in my head. I am now a published author. When I joined the team, I had concepts of a vision of what my life could potentially look like in the future. And I can honestly say now, like the Jasmine that joined the team in 2020 is gone. Like she doesn't exist anymore. Like this Jasmine knows where she's going, what she's called to do. The Jasmine that joined the team was like, I might go back to school. This Jasmine just got accepted into seminary for grad school. Like the level of transformation, I think, and I think it's one of those things of, and I was thinking about this earlier, how like the individual development as well as the way that the team is able to pull together is really like the result of being loved perfectly. Like the Bible says, perfect love casts out fear.
Oh, wow.
Right. And so when you are loved perfectly, and that's not to say that the person is perfect, but the kind of love that Jesus talks about is the kind of love that casts out the fear, so you don't have to worry about being rejected on the team. You don't have to worry about, the things that you would normally fear coming onto a team because of past experiences, because of how other people are. It is literally a space where you can be planted and you don't have to worry about bugs coming and eating your plants. I cannot tell you the number of times I was minding my own business and Anika was like, Jasmine, I hear the Lord. And you just be like, you know what? I didn't come on here for this, but thanks. And then 2 months later, your whole life is turned upside down. You just be like,
Upside down.
yeah, like my individual life and the growth that I've experienced since being a part of this team is literally night and day. I could not imagine what my life would be like had I not been a part of this team at the time that I joined. Because, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
Wow. Well, we couldn't imagine us without you. No. Mm-mm. We need your good country realness.
And I mean, it's a little country. But that's all
I
right.
like it. And protective. We love all of that. Yeah, yeah. And I think one of the things she's saying, Latoya, is that your own personal dream for your life doesn't interfere with you making a contribution to the dream that the team is dreaming into or working on. In fact, they actually help each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually help each other. I heard a pastor say he would rather, man, I'm trying to think of who it was, but I guess I shouldn't say who it was, but he was talking about he would rather have a team member that had no aspirations, because that person, remember that person would stay and like their aspiration is connected to him, or like I would rather have them. Anyway, it was a weird kind of thing, and I think he was trying to communicate loyalty, but that isn't what he was communicating, because when Jesus ascended, or when Jesus rose, and then Peter said, "I'm going fishing." Everybody was like, "What do you mean you're going fish? Like, he's not here, so I guess I'm done." And this particular pastor was saying he would, like, if he asked someone on his team, "If I shut the church down, what would you do?" And that person said, "Well, I guess I'd go back to whatever state they moved from and just go back to my old life." And so the pastor was using that person as an example to say, see, this is the type of person you want, that they're here for one reason, etc. And I said, oh, I'm thinking to myself, I was the only person in the room who looked like me. And normally I would speak up, but I didn't have the energy that day. And so I just was like, I thought, this is so wrong. Because when Jesus rose and Peter said, "I'm going fishing," and Jesus was like, "Sir, if you love me, you'll keep doing what I broke open in you is going to continue after I'm ascended. When you can't see me anymore, you're not going to let what I put in you just go to waste because I'm not here anymore."
Oh my gosh. He said it in the parable too.
Yes.
Coins. I didn't even think about it. That's the same.
What?
Think about it, because he gave him the coins and he was mad at the one who just buried it.
Yes.
So it's the same.
It's the same principle.
Oh my gosh. He's smart.
Yes.
The
Because
Lord is a smart person.
isn't he the genius of God?
Yeah.
So if you are, as a result of being on this team, hey, I'm launching a business. Everybody else on the team is like, go girl, do what you do. Go ahead. And if your business over, can I be a client? Is what I was trying to figure out. I was like,
How can we help? Absolutely.
How can we help? And I'll refer you. I'm always referring Jasmine to somebody. So if I go on your website and it's a little shady, a little shaky, I'm like, you ever, if you ever want to do a freshen up. So yeah, it blesses us when folks get promoted, folks expand, they grow, and there's no fear of someone getting so big that they can't be here. That's okay. God, it was God that sent you. Same God, he'll send somebody else, you know?
I think, sorry, Latoya, were you about to change the question? Oh, to add to what Jasmine said. So there's that like the tangible, like that personal growth, that professional growth that's happening. I think that good, being being invited into this dream space allows you to endure loss. And so for who are listening to this episode, I, I lost my husband in September, last September, 2024. And I will say that being a part of this team, being able to grow, not just in my professional capacities, but in my spiritual capacities, in my prayer life, in my, I'm saying it has been easy to pray, but I have not given up on prayer. It has not been in my word, but I have not given up on the word. I think that good leadership prepares you to endure even when things don't go in the direction that you want it to go.
Yes.
So I'm grateful for all the things that have added to my life, business growth, professional growth, but I'm also really excited about the word that Dr. Pam used when she was describing me was resilient, but I think this has been a major piece of me being able to develop that kind of resilience. And to know that even while I wait on God to say what comes next, what happens next, I'm still here.
Yes.
And I don't think we realize how big of a testimony, like some of your team members, their greatest testimony is going to be that I'm still here.
I'm still here.
And I can say thank you to my team for helping me to stay here.
Yes. You're still here. We love it. We love it.
Yes, yes, yes. And we love you so much, Andrea. That's so true. Like we all support each other in different ways through our wins, through losses, through everything. We can just send a text in our group chat and say, hey, can you pray for me about this? Or if God puts, one of us on each other's hearts, we're sending encouragement. And I think that's important too. Even when we're not having our meetings or when we're not working on a project, we're still considerate of each other. And that's super important. And so also want to think about like, how does being included in the dream change how you show up for the work?
I'll take that one. I think being included causes you to be more invested, right? But it also causes you to be more intentional about your personal growth. Right. So I know Dr. Pam is going to pull on me. So that makes me have to go and do more research. It makes me have to go and learn more. It makes me more, wanting to grow myself so that I have more to contribute. And I think that, being a part of this team, one thing I have experienced on other teams is comparison, right? And feeling like you got to compete for the seat. We don't have that here. And I appreciate the fact that Dr. Pam shows value to everybody in their respective places. And you don't have to, we don't have to perform. We just be who we are, right? And so our identity does not have to be challenged or questioned because she continues to confirm our identity. Right? She doesn't question it. Some people come to the table and they want validation and they want affirmation. But that's one thing about Dr. Pam. She's going to nurture what she sees and even begin to call that stuff out. Like it's no type of introduction like a Dr. Pam introduction. Like as you're being introduced, you are receiving the word of the Lord concerning how God is envisioning you in this season, what God is saying over you in this season. Even at her Get Ready to Fly experience, she pulled me to the side. Like next time I want a book out of you, right? And so it's like, okay, excuse me. And she put me to the side. Where's your business, right? So it's not like she's so production heavy to the team that she's not concerned about your life overall and your purpose, big picture purpose, right? What you are to contribute, not just to the team, but to the world. And she continues as a light, as a person that is in the world, influencing the world. She continues to say, hey, you have influence, you have light, you have something to do as well, and something to contribute. So, so that's my answer.
I'm about to run.
I mean, Anika's answers will make you want to
chair
cry. I'm like, my God.
and run.
Yeah.
And I think too, Anika, that's also the result of somebody who actually has a vision from God. Because sometimes people get teams around them to build a dream because God won't build.
You know what? You know what? And we all take a sip. And we all just take a sip.
But to your point, Anika.
Yes.
It absolutely like forces you to go, and the I have gained simply because I wanted to be prepared for anything that was going to come up in the future, not for me, but for Dr. Ross. Like listen, the only reason I have an Adobe subscription is because I need Premiere Pro to edit her reels. I never had any intention of learning how to edit video, but somehow I have learned how to color grade. What? And then people were like, when did you learn how to do that? Listen, it's because Dr. Ross, zero intentions of owning a bit. I had zero intentions of learning how to edit photos. I had zero intentions of learning half of the stuff that I now know how to do. But because I was like, nah, like, this a real apostle. This a real apostle. This is an apostle that's actually going places and actually doing stuff.
Yeah.
And it's almost like being invited into the dreaming part of the vision. I started to see the vision further than it is now. So based on what I can see of what's coming for the vision she's invited me into dreaming for, I can see how my role needs to evolve and what I need to prepare for coming down the road. It might just be reels right now, but she's going to have a whole TV show later. So she needs to have somebody that knows her. So when we bring in the professional filmers, because I'm not doing all of it, she has someone that knows how to direct them because they already know the vision. So I can delegate to the people that don't know the vision. But as somebody that does know the vision, I know how to delegate and how to direct for what's coming in the future.
My God.
Yeah, that's awesome. Ooh, this a Selah moment.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, just a Selah right there. I love that. That is so, so, so good and so, so important. So Dr. Pam, what does it feel like for you to have a team that you can dream with?
Yeah. You know, I love it because I feel like I have full access to the genius of God times 5 more, 6 more, you know. Latanya just recently joined the team. She had a little bit of a family urgency, not an emergency, but I'll just say an urgency, and she couldn't make it. But to be able to have a cloud the size of a man's hand, you know, that Old Testament story of the prophet saying it's going to rain, and then his assistant went 7 times, finally comes back and says, I see a cloud, and it's really probably about this big. When you have to wait and develop everything yourself, and then come to the team and say, okay, here's the vision. Because I think a lot of times teams put so much pressure on their visionary to go up to the mountain and stay 40 days and come back with some type of vision etched in stone. But to be able to come and say, this is what I believe God is saying. And we've done that even for specific assignments. And I love, love, love it to be able to say, hey, I'm going to this church. This is who they are. This is what I believe God is saying. and to have the team dream with me about, yeah, they need this or they need that. And in comes the agreement, and then in comes the creativity, then in comes the innovation. And for me, innovation is I'm building another door to access the hearts of people, so that change can happen. So it's exciting. It takes the pressure off. And it also keeps me very current because I have to show up with the God said. I have to show up with the God said. If you don't have a God said, you don't need a team. And so I have to show up with a God said. And then the team, we lean into it like I put a big fresh peach cobbler on the table. We lean into it and we just start eating. Like, hey, this is what I believe is happening, with the new thing we're getting ready to do for church staffers. Like, hey, this is kind of what I believe. And everybody's like, oh, you could do this, you could do this. Maybe they need this. And I love it. The other thing I love about it, LaToya, is that it helps me know that my team understands the heart of a matter. That they understand my heart for a people. And we're not just, we talk about giving the world better leaders. It just sounds like such a big, big statement. But for them to be able to see how, like, this is how we do it through consultation and books and training. And so, yeah, for me, I love it. It just made life so much easier to be able to have a team you can dream with. And you don't necessarily have to have all the money, all the contacts. Let's just dream together. I love it.
I think you can see a team that hasn't dreamed together.
Yes.
How? So if anybody out there watches or watched Parks and Rec, so remember when they made the mural and everybody did their own piece and they called it an elephant or something because it was ugly. Everybody was doing their own thing, but and that's when you don't have the vision, we're not working together, it doesn't work sometimes because you'll have a beautiful house and no bathrooms. And
oh my gosh, yes.
Because the visionaries, like sometimes, like you say, you'll be worried about, oh, did I train the people? I'm like, did they get saved?
Okay.
So you have to have, I'm like, okay, that's great. They're trained, they're going to hell. Did they get saved? So you have to have a complete vision. And like you said, it helps when you have other thoughts. And I can always tell, like I was talking with a friend the other day, I said, you know what? There was not a woman on their team.
Oh, yes.
You can tell. You can tell when there's not a woman. You can tell when there's not diversity of ethnicity.
Yes.
You can tell. And so that being on a team where we dream together, everybody has the same dream, but you have different parts of it. It's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
So I see the clouds, but you see the building or something.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think that's, for me, that's the biggest thing and the biggest excitement is that we're all unique and diverse, but we're all for one goal and for one vision, like you said.
I love it. It's funny you mentioned puzzles because, this man I married loves puzzles. I didn't realize I like puzzles like this. We love doing puzzles. Like that's a thing for us. We have a puzzle board, and then he went and made a bigger puzzle board, like went to the Home Depot or wherever and put together a whole puzzle board, right? But I keep feeling like, for me, when I'm working on a puzzle with him, I feel like it's visionary training. Because at the beginning of the puzzle, you're just looking for the edges, you're just looking for the edges. And you look at the picture to put the edges together. And then you try to find a little, like everything that's similar and, start sorting and all of that. We have sorting trays. When I say we are puzzlers, we have equipment for puzzling. But I believe God is in it, because what I thought about today, but I was like, why is it when you get into the second half of the puzzle, you start identifying pieces so quickly? I thought mathematically it's because, well, there are fewer pieces. So mathematically, you're going to identify them quicker. That's not it. You're right. I think you're shaking your head. Nope, that's not it. But the Lord, I know it was God who said to me today. He said, because you've studied the vision longer. You've looked at the picture so long you notice, oh, that's that little redhead boy's left shoulder. Put that right there. Like, so that when you see, oh, the ice cream goes right here. By the time you look at it and 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 look at it, then when you see any little piece, you're like, oh yeah, this could go here. This could go there. And so you have a whole box, 750 pieces. I think we just did like 1,000 pieces, whatever we just did, 750 pieces. Every single one is needed, but you really don't have a clue necessarily where until you start really studying what that vision is. And that vision is a God said. So that's why you talk about what God said. You share prophetic words. Like if I go somewhere and get a prophetic word, y'all gonna hear it. So it's like, right? Because that's the picture. So then when you come across something that could fit right there, because remember when God said, it helps us to put the pieces together. I think the other thing puzzles have been doing for me is if PJ's working on one part, I'm working on another part. I've now learned to say, I think that's for you, and do my thing. Oh wait, that's for you, and I'll do my thing. Now I'm not gonna just push your piece aside and not give it to you like I used to. But what I'm gonna do, like, I'm looking for my part. Jasmine, like, why you do my goddaddy like that, right? But what I'm gonna do is say, oh, that's yours. Now, how do I know it's for him? Because I know what he's working on. I know, oh, he's working on the brick building. I'm working on the blue car. And so if I have an idea, this is what he's working on, I'm going to give him, oh, that's for you. You can use this, I came across a piece that you can use. So,
and if a mistake is made, that's okay. We just take it out and put it where it goes.
Yes. We've definitely done that. So I think the two of us are in visionary school as we work on these puzzles. I don't think it's just like a hobby. I think God's using it to train us.
I love that because that piggybacks with Habakkuk 2 and 2.
Yes.
The vision, make it plain.
Yes.
That those that read it may run. I can't read and run at the same time. So I have to be able to read it, comprehend it, digest it, and then run with it. So like you said, as I'm looking at the picture so many times, I'm ingesting it. It's becoming a part of my memory. It's becoming a part of my mindset. It's becoming a part of who I am. So now as I'm putting it together, my structuring is changing to make sure that I'm doing what the vision requires. And I think that is the best part about you as a visionary is that, like Jasmine said, number one, you have a real vision. And number two, your vision continues to evolve.
Yes, my Lord.
It's not just let's do this conference and that's it. It's okay, let's do these books, let's do this conference, okay, let's do this retreat. Okay, now let's do this. Now let's dream into this. I'm seeing God say, you know what I'm saying? So there's always that challenge, even in us personally, to say, okay, this is what God gave me, but how can we give it back to God and let him blow on it and make it bigger? So I think that's what that dream space is saying, God, this is the vision we have, but blow on it because you're a big God, right? And so if this is what my mind can conceive, then you can make it even bigger. And I think that the contribution of the team, like you said, is 5 levels of genius, where we all have a bigger piece of it to say, okay, no, it can evolve this way. I remember us coming to the table around pricing. So this team challenges us in some of our limitations. Because Dr. Pam and I, like, God gave us the gift. Freely he gave it. Freely we give it out.
Freely we give it.
No, ma'am.
No. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar.
Yeah.
Costs money. Your tutelage costs money. So you have to charge. And then you're able to say, okay, well, that's a weakness for me. What can we charge? Right? Yeah. But if you were just a visionary that came to the table, I'm going to just charge $9.99 for 5 weeks of counseling. What? And so I'm glad that you dream because we're even able to challenge you. So it's not like you have a team of yes men.
Oh,
right?
Come on.
You give us the space to say, Doc, I think we need to add this. So I think you may want to look at it this way. And we don't feel like we're dishonoring you. We don't feel like we're devaluing you because you leave the door open to say, hey, is this good? Is this bad? What do you think?
Yeah. What do you think?
If you were to come to the table and say no, they're kicking you out, you know, because you know how you gonna kick against the prick, how you gonna be insubordinate, and it's like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
if everybody's saying yes, then how is there growth?
How is there growth without any type of pushback mentally to say, think about this?
Right.
You know, I'm going to push that back across the table and see what else you come up with.
Exactly.
If you don't have it.
Because then you're an island unto yourself. And that's why God even sent us out 2 by 2, because he said you need somebody to see more than what you see.
Hello.
So you need the different perspectives.
Anika, the science says that movement requires friction.
Yes. Absolutely. You got to have something. If you think about it, that's why people get on the ice and they can't and they can't move forward. Why? Because it's too smooth. It's too smooth. Nobody's asking any questions. Nobody's saying, what do you think about? Have you thought about? Well, I see it a different way. Yeah. Then you're not really, nothing's changing. If nobody's in pain, nothing's changing.
One of my favorite trainers, Dr. Pam Ross, said, confrontation is an investment in your self-care.
I love it.
And I was actually just looking at that quote the other day, and I was just like, you know what? I do need to confront some stuff to get myself together. But I was gonna say, even as a visionary, I think dreaming with your team helps you to see your vision bigger than what you saw it. Because sometimes you'll be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna do this, and we'll be like, this is a whole you saw this. Let's expand that just a little bit, because no, like, this is so much bigger. It's great. It's great. You saw the sprout, but this is a whole tree. And we refuse to allow you to produce a sprout and give a sprout to the people when you got a whole oak inside you.
I love it.
To be able to produce.
Come on. You talk trees, that's my language.
But thinking about that, I just thought about, we were on for group coaching.
Yeah.
So leaders, they get from their team, their immediate team, like Jesus, he got from his people, but then he also learned from others. So even talking about what Jasmine was just saying, someone in the group, we were mentioning something, and they said, oh, have you guys thought about da 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 da? And you're like, oh, that's a good idea. I'll look into that. So leaders and visionaries, they don't just take from their team, they take from other spaces and what they're doing, and they add to it. Then they can disseminate to the team and say, hey guys, what do you think about this? I think that's a detriment to people who are closed-minded. They can't learn anymore. My friend just said yesterday, she said, I think this person, they stopped learning. And I said, anytime you stop learning, you're done.
Yeah.
I think you know everything. What's the point of doing anything? If I know everything, why would I do anything else? Because I know it all.
Yeah, right. And I'm only going to do what I know. As if the world has stopped inventing, creating, expanding new things. Even just keeping me current. Yes, even keeping me current. Like, what does that mean? Who said that? Oh my good, like, oh, I see. Okay, I see. Yeah. Even doing those kind of things. Yeah. Y'all are my favorite people to dream with, because we dream we dream in faith. And it's a positive experience. It leaves me with such energy. And even with like this last trip, when I was saying, man, I wish I had prepared sooner. And I'm seeing this delay in confirmation as such a challenge. And by the time I was done talking to y'all, you were like, oh no, this delay was so that you won't overstudy. You'll be just fine. So don't overthink it. Go to the beach. Like seriously, I told the pastor called me the next day after I talked to y'all. And I said, yeah, my team told me, this is what he said. He said, we didn't send you a topic to study on purpose, because we know who you are. He said, we know who you are, and I know how you do. You probably have already heard from God. You've probably already talked to your team about it. Isn't that hilarious? He said, I know how you do. You probably already talked to your team about it and said, hey, I'm going. This is what I believe God said. What do y'all think? He said, y'all already been cooking. And when I tell you, it was exactly what they needed. Like it was. It's nuts how that happens. It's just nuts because it balances out my tendency to think I have to dig something up. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's not always the case. Sometimes you already have it. God knew you were going, you already have it. So what do you have in your hand rather than try to go find or carve something new? What do you already have in your hand? What has God already given you ahead of time? And you guys are excellent in reminding me what God has already put in my hands. I love it. And you help me to value what God has put in my hands. So your honor for me helps me honor God. Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing.
On that note, Dr.
You-
Dr.
you
Latoya.
Amazing. Yes. Thank you so much. And I think it just shows the importance of iron sharpening iron.
Yeah.
That's what this team is, iron sharpening iron.
Mhm.
And we're grateful that the vision that God has given you is aligned. It's not disjointed in any way. And we can
Mhm.
see the path forward. We can see
Yeah.
the path forward. And like Jasmine said, because of that, and Anika too, we can see where it's going. So we can also talk to the Lord and he can speak to us. Okay, you need to prepare here because she's moving this way, or,
Yeah.
the vision is evolving and expanding in this way. So again, we're just so grateful for you as our leader. I just want to thank all of you beautiful ladies for joining us for this wonderful conversation. As you all can see, the synergy in our team is all God. It's
Yes.
all God, and we all work well together. And we are pushing this vision forward under the leadership of Dr. Pam Ross. So I will hand it over to you to close us out.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to the podcast today. We're going to wrap up this part, but if you are a Patreon supporter, first of all, thank you for supporting Patreon. We feel the love when we see those Patreon subscriptions tick up. We're gonna record some bonus material just for you. Latoya has got some specific questions for the team and for me that are a little bit juicy, and so we love to, because we love our Patreon supporters. I know we're doing the evil genius fingers, like yes. So because we love our Patreon supporters, we always want to record a little something extra just for them. But thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Culturalist Podcast. Catch me on social media at PR The Builder. Visit me online at pamross.com. Catch you next time.